poverty is a choice.
I agree. I agree. I
I think
agree.
poverty is a choice. If my mom was a
Let's rock it.
all right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching this video. This is your first time here. Please subscribe and don't forget to hit the like button because listen, we are always bringing you guys good stuff. You know, I like money. So anytime I hear somebody talking about money, I just want to talk to him for you guys. Introduce himself. I just met him, but I love him because he talks about money. It's all about money. It's all about wealth. So
Yeah.
please, just by introduce yourself to us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Matilda. And for everybody, my name is Jasper Smith, affectionately known as Mr. Bill Wealth. And yes, while we've only known each other briefly, we had an instant connection because the conversation is about money. It's about wealth building. And we know there's more to life than just money and wealth, but it has such a huge impact on our livelihoods. And so it's almost like it's unfortunate that people don't get excited and get obsessive around it just because of like the world we live in, because it is such an important, I'll say, tool. Like money's a tool that a lot of us don't have a great relationship with it, and our families didn't. And so we look at how these generational cycles and patterns continue to exist generation after generation. So my mission is to disrupt generational poverty. And that is a loaded phrase, and people are like, what does that mean? And I know we're going to talk about that today. And so I call myself the director of disruption. and I created an initiative called the Build Wealth Movement. And that's the mission, is to disrupt generational poverty. I don't know what that means to you or your viewers or listeners, but it means something different to everybody. It's not one specific product. It's not one specific strategy. It's, we got to talk about the plan. And I know we're gonna hop into that during the conversation today. And that's why I focus my effort. I don't claim to work magic. I'm not the only one who understands, I'll say, the language of money. But for some people, they just aren't hearing it from the right source, or they're not getting the right information. And then there's also just things we just don't know. And so you don't know what you don't know. So let me help shed some light on what I know. And perhaps, some of your viewers will find a few pearls of wisdom, a golden nugget or two. It will be too much for you to unpack in one session. So take what you need, discard the rest, watch the recording, take some notes, and just you have to really focus and hone in on what is most important in terms of your priorities. And then you start just go down that list and start checking them off.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so my first question to you is the mindset about money when it comes to challenges about
money. One of the things I usually show in some of the webinars that I do is it's an image of it's a kitten, and the kitten is looking in the mirror, and in the mirror image there's a lion. And so we think about like the mindset. Everybody dreams and fantasizes about being great. So this little kitten aspires to be this lion that you see in the mirror reflection. And when I talk to people and I ask them about like, what do you dream and fantasize about? It's never about being in second place. It's never being a loser. It's never being poor. And so if we dream and fantasize about these things, then we have to bring those thoughts and beliefs out and actually live the life we're supposed to be living. But we don't execute on those dreams and thoughts. And so we just kind of let it go. And I'm like, I know you want to do better, but it starts internally. It starts with you. Yes, I know there are things we can't control. And that's part of the mindset too. You got to give it up. If you can't control it, stop. Focus on what you can control and watch your life change, because you won't get so upset when something bad happens with your job, your family, the economy. It doesn't matter. It's just you can't control those things, but you can't control how you respond to it. And that's the mindset piece that people tend to want to skip when we're talking about financial planning, or if I'm speaking to like potential clients of mine. It's, you know, some stuff I just don't care because I can't control it. Who knows what anybody's government is going to do on any given day, but you can't control that. You can vote and hope your person or people represent you accordingly, but some of those things are out of your power. So we have to internalize, what am I doing or not doing that has me in this situation, and get real comfortable being uncomfortable with that reality.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. So I am so happy you are saying that, because first of all, if your mindset about money is positive, if you think about any money that comes to you, you know, some people spend their paycheck even before they get to their hands.
Yeah.
So thinking about money and thinking about wealth, you know, it starts from, I mean, it's all about your mindset. So thank you, bro. So my next question is, what is the best practices to encourage and expand, encouraging and expanding a wealth mindset? If somebody, what can they do to, I mean,
couple things, and these won't be a shocker to anybody. You got to read, and I mean, read some quality stuff, not always reading the popular book or taking the pop, like, you got to find stuff that speaks to who you are and to how you learn. But I always say read, because reading, there's a lot of stuff you can find out if you just take the time to read. But if reading isn't your jam, you know, I always recommend that people go to YouTube University. You know, I know it's not an accredited institution, but Lord knows I have watched thousands of videos just so I can get some clarity around a specific topic. And it's anything you can think of is probably on there, like how to do this, what is that? You know, they're experts, they're scam artists, there's all types of people. And so what you find is, you find a lot of information, and then you have to figure out how to sift through it. And so if I'm trying to figure out, like, what should I consider implementing as a best practice? Well, consume a lot of information first off, and then validate it with the professional with whatever topic it is. So if it is, you know, I'll throw out real estate because everybody's obsessed with real estate. So how about you have an actual relationship with the real estate professional, meaning like a realtor, a lender, a developer. And those are three different things, right? It's all real estate under the umbrella, but we have to, in addition to gathering the information and the data, if you aren't able to sift through, because it's not your area of expertise, there are people who do this all day. Connect with him or her and make sure you're getting the validation that what you saw online or what you read in a book, is that legitimate? And is that a strategy that you can even adopt? And so part of what you have to do in terms of kind of moving forward with your strategy is find out what works for you. Everything that you read and see may not work for you, or you may not be able to do it right now, but maybe that's on your 5-year goals list, where at some point I'll be able to do it. At some point I can take that course, or I can, you know, meet with that professional, you know, maybe at some point I'll be able to afford their service, whatever it is. You just got to understand that it's multi-pronged. It's do some of your own work and work with other people who are experts in that position.
Yes. Oh my God, brother. Oh my God. You hit some point that I'm like, oh my God. When I started buying shares, I watched a whole lot of videos, dividend shares, and options, so many different kinds. And then I started buying dividend shares. And then I said, okay, can I trade? How can I trade? I don't want to lose my money. Okay, then I find somebody who is professional, and I pay for it, brother. I pay, and I'm learning from him. I have a friend that I introduced him to buying shares and whatever, and she paid for it also. And now every day she can make, like, she's a woman, she's in her 60s, she can make like 1,000 to 1,500 a day by trading options. I'm not saying that somebody, I'm trying to drive a point to where you said that find somebody who is professional that you can learn from them. So that's a very, very, very,
and let me say this too. And let me just throw this out. When you're working with a professional, it's okay to ask what they're doing. You know, we feel like as people who aren't, I'll say, an expert in a space, we feel uncomfortable asking that. Well, tell me how you do it. And so I'm very honest with my client. I don't trade options. Like, I understand them. I had to take tests to be able to sell securities, but I've never traded an option. And I've watched a few videos. I'm like, not my jam. Not where I'm going to spend my time, because I've heard the good stories, I've heard the bad, and all in between. So you got to understand where you are at this point in your life to say, is this what I should be doing right now? Because I never want to discourage people from pursuing opportunities that can really increase your net worth, right? Increase your wealth. But we don't sometimes have the basics or the foundational stuff taken care of. And so we're skipping this big step of, I'm going to something that's very hard to explain to a child. I don't really understand it. It's very, very risky, but risk is a good thing. Let me say risk is a positive. And that's that whole poverty versus wealth mindset. Risk is a good thing if you understand, right? Because not taking risks will have you broke. And not taking risks will keep you poor, which is that, and that's that mindset. And so as I have these discussions, it's changing. Like, you got to think differently. Like, you got to think differently, and then you have to like get your emotions in check. Because I had friends who lost a lot of money trading options, and they hate them, so they found alternatives. And there's so much you can do. And I think that's also kind of the negative side of the house, is that there is so much, and so you feel like, well, where do I spend my time? And that's where a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah. So, brother, what can you what is the importance of people learning about financial literacy? What is the importance of that?
The key thing I would say, Matilda, is the comfort. That's why it's important. Like, to be financially literate means you're comfortable. Maybe not with everything, but money is still a taboo subject, and it probably forever will be. It's along the lines of politics, sex, religion, money. There's just certain things that people get, they get a little uneasy when you bring it up. And then I'm thinking, well, if we just addressed any of those things honestly and truthfully, all that fear and the negativity will subside, and it will be like us just having a casual conversation about your favorite sports team or your favorite movie. Because people can talk about sports and entertainment like it's nuts. It's like, oh, it's easy, it's fun, it's exciting. It's normal for you to ask about how's your local sports team doing, or did you see that movie with this actor or actress or whoever your performer, if you like art and music. But we're comfortable having those conversations, but money and financial literacy should be on that level of comfort, and it probably never will be. So I feel like that's kind of like why I'm here. This is why I do what I do, because I feel like I can actually make a difference. And I know I can't save the world, but I can save maybe one person who listens.
One person, yeah.
And I may never meet him or her, but they may listen to this and say, that brother was on to something. And maybe they go do some things, but I may never get the satisfaction of knowing that I helped somebody who I've never met. But I can live with that, because this is my passion. And so it doesn't feel like work to me. It's like, how much of an impact can I have? And the more financial literate you become, watch the other stressors in your life subside. Now, I don't say the G word, which is guaranteed, but I guarantee that if you become more financially literate, it's not going to alleviate all the stress in your life, because life is stressful no matter where you are in the world. But there's just certain, I'll say, standards or quality of life things that just won't be as important to you. You'll have other problems, but it won't be just like fundamental basic things that I wish all of us can get past.
No. Yeah. So, brother, can you please teach us, explain step by step, what can we do to start.
Yeah.
To,
yeah. Somebody's going to listen to this and not follow instructions. So let me go ahead and throw that disclaimer out there. We're going to tell them exactly what to do. And somebody's going to say, nah, I'm going to skip that step. And let me give you a story first before I give you the steps. This is a fun thing that I know everybody can relate to. If you were going to go on a vacation, I know I don't need to coach you. Nobody needs to coach you on how to go on a vacation. You will do your laundry to make sure you got some clean underwear. You will pull a bag of luggage out of your closet to figure out what size of bag you can make that decision. You will decide, mode of transportation on how you're getting to said destination. You will figure out once you get to said destination, where you're going to eat, what you're going to do, how long so you go through this whole litany of steps. So in financial planning, it's a similar process. I want you to take inventory first. So just like you're going to check to see if your clothes are clean, I want you to check to see what you've done up until this point in time. And there's a document that I always share with clients or people in general. It's called the balance sheet. And I wish everybody would start there. Just take inventory. And a balance sheet, for those who don't know, is a document that captures your assets, which is anything that you own, and your liabilities, which is whatever you owe. I don't care what it looks like. I just want people to see it. See that you have assets here, 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 here. See that you have debts there, 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 there. And just get comfortable seeing what you've done up until this day and time. That's the first step in planning. People want to skip and start talking investments, and I'm like, stop. What have you done at this moment in time? Just show me that first, because it rules out kind of the rest of this vacation if you don't know what clothes
done? Like, can I please cut? What have you done? What do you mean what? Are you talking about worth? What have you done?
Yep.
What is
Yep. So what have you done means I have bank accounts, I have cash, I have houses, I have jewelry, family heirlooms, that has value. My home, the car, is it stocks? Is it ETFs? Is it mutual funds? Is it retirement accounts through my job? Is it retirement accounts outside of my job that I've opened up myself? And so this balance sheet, it forces you to categorize all the stuff you have. And what I find, Matilda, is that people haven't taken that time to just take inventory.
Yes.
That activity alone it'll make your head explode, because most people don't realize that I've either not done enough, or I've done some things, but I don't know how they fit into the grand scheme of my plan. So taking inventory is the first activity. Leveraging a tool like the balance sheet the balance sheet is the first step that I have people to do, because if you can't do the balance sheet, I can't do planning with you. It's one of those, it's a non-negotiable for me. I sell stuff, and that's fine. I don't mind being transactional, but when I'm getting into the planning, balance sheet, show me. Don't tell me you make $500,000 a year. That doesn't impress me, because you probably got hit with taxes. So you probably didn't even keep a lot of that money. So you earning, because we have this false sense that when I earn a decent living, that I'm wealthy. No, that's income. That has nothing to do with your wealth. Has nothing to do with your wealth. Wealth is what you keep and can show and prove, not just I made some money working hard, or I got a contract. No, that's great. Everybody needs to make income. That's a given. But how are you applying that income? And that balance sheet is going to tell me the story. It's going to tell me exactly where you are. It's going to tell me what you know, what you don't know. And when we look at the debt side, it's going to tell me, do you have some spending habits that are not beneficial to your future success? So if I see a lot of credit card debt, that's you. Credit card debt is you and your spending habits. Student loans, you had to get a degree. I got you there. A mortgage, I'll give you a pass. People need a house. There's certain things that I'm okay seeing, but I want to see the relationship between your debts or your liabilities and those assets. And if you have some debt but a whole lot of assets, that's great, because your net worth is still positive. But most people are going to be negative maybe their entire lives, and they will never experience life being in the black. And that's an accounting term. When you look at the numbers and the balance sheet, you calculate that net worth and that number by subtracting your liabilities from your assets, or assets minus liabilities equals your net worth. And the majority of people will never understand what it feels like to be positive or in the black. They will be in the red their entire lives, despite the education, the advancements in technology, them getting the promotions and all this. I got a good or better paying job. I mean, and despite all of that positivity, when I look at that balance sheet, I got the real story.
So thank you. When you're saying, I'm thinking about my people, me being African, and I'm inviting you to Ghana.
Okay.
Time will come, you are coming with me. So me being African, and I'm thinking about we being immigrants here. I don't think, please don't, guys, if you watch this, don't hold me to it. I don't think we ever think about going to a financial advisor to get a little advice from them. Because the thing is, we think we don't make enough. And we think that financial advisor is for those who are rich people. But to me, I know for sure that everybody needs to talk to a financial advisor, no matter where you are in life. So that's why I want to bring you here, so that you can talk to my people and let them know that you don't have to be rich before seeking advice from a financial, because they can open your eyes in so many ways that can help you to grow. I mean, to come out of poverty. I mean, you won't be rich, but when you get old, you won't be reliable. You don't have to rely on your children, because where I come from, I don't know, I think Black Americans also, they rely on their children. Oh, my child is rich and they don't care about me. Oh, my child is driving this car. That's what it is in Ghana. Ghanaians, Africans, we always rely on, the parents rely on us and be free from. So I want you to talk to us about that.
Yeah, you bring up that's a lot to unpack there. And so I'll do my best to keep it brief, but you're exactly right. You need what I call a money team. And so you're going to have multiple, we'll call them multiple advisors, right? You have an advisor who can give you that 5,000 foot view, like a financial planner, right? That's a term, right? Planner. I want to see, I do planning. I want to see everything, so then we can start to figure out what's the next move we should make based on what you told me you want to do. So you got to have the goals or the targets to shoot for. And then we got to have that, tough conversation about, well, what can we do right now? And you can't do this by yourself. Matilda, I don't know a wealthy person in this world who does all of anything by themselves. And so what you have to consider is, depending on what stage of life you're in, you're going to need a lot of advisors. So you need maybe the financial planner. You need that relationship with your bank or your credit union. So you need to have that person who's there for various reasons, right? For checking and savings accounts, for potential lending and credit and all that kind of stuff. You need insurance professionals of all types, a lot of different types of insurances. I'll say an investment advisor, because there are all types of investments. You need to have a tax person, because taxes affect everything that you do. And whether you are single, have a family, a business owner, that could make or break you if you don't have your tax strategy in order. You have to think about, if you care about generational wealth and legacy, then you think attorneys, whereas wills and trusts, and making sure your beneficiaries are up to date on certain accounts like retirement and your life insurance. And so you look at how I can't do all that, Matilda. And I tell people, I'm just playing my position, maybe as your financial planner, right? And I can say, you know what, here's what I see. Like, I do this every day, and the average person isn't spending every single day talking about money, financial planning, or the markets. And so the average person feels like, well, I'm smart enough, or I'm educated enough, or I make a good living that I can do it by myself. And here's where I get them, Matilda. And I use this analogy because it's pretty legit, whether you like sports or not. Michael Jordan, most people know that name, and the late Kobe Bryant. They know that name, whether you like basketball or not. They had a coach. His name was Phil Jackson. Now, I would ask anybody, do you think Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant win all of those championships without that coach? And I just mentioned Phil Jackson, but he has a staff, then you have an organization. So tell me that MJ or Kobe could have won those championships by themselves. So I use that sports analogy because everybody can relate to famous people or entertainers or athletes. And then I say, well, think about your everyday life. You don't talk money because you're a teacher, you're a social worker, you're a doctor, whatever your profession is. If you're not in the money game or the industry of financial services, why do you think you can do it better than us? Now, I'll say that with a caveat. Some things you should do on your own. You know, I tell clients, like, I'm not a day trader. Trading can be done and you can be successful. If you educate and really dive into it, there are some things that you don't need a person for. And so I find maybe 5% of the people I talk to who will actually do it themselves. They'll create their own plan. They'll do the updates on their own. They hold themselves accountable to what they said they want to accomplish. They do the trading, the research. They do. Yeah. There are some people who have it. I ain't one of those. So I got people like you, Matilda. You mentioned this earlier that you paid your investment person. I look at it this way. It's not a cost to me. And I want you to think about the language we use. I make an investment in my money team to help me generate more income and become more wealthier. I invest. Operative word. It's not a cost. I expect to get something for paying this professional, this advisor. And so if you're not getting the results, fire him or her and hire somebody else.
That's it.
But you need a variety of people because there's not one person who has a monopoly on everything in terms of the strategy, in terms of understanding you, because personality styles is, you got to like the person you're doing business with. If you don't like him or her and they got your money, I'm questioning why you keep giving it to them. That doesn't make sense to me. And I don't care what country you're in, whether it's Ghana or America. If you don't like the person, why do they have your money? Why do you support them if they're not giving you the service, the products, the information? It's all about value.
Yep.
What kind of value do you get from your financial, I'll say, advisors? And if it's not good, you should fire them. If you have a void, you need to go do research and find said person to help you for whatever that topic is. There's a person who's an expert that you probably should be working with to help you move forward.
Thank you. I love this. When it comes to talking about money, that's my most happiest thing in life. Yeah. And I don't know if you judge me that I like money. You have to eat money. You have to drive money, sleep money. Everything is about money. So if you don't take care of your money issues, you are in trouble. And Jasper, one thing also that I want you to talk about is 401k and 403b. So every year when I file my taxes, I owe Uncle Sam with my husband because I work too much. So I was talking to this CPA, and then he said that I should, instead of, what do you call it? I should put more money into my 403 and 401k. What do you say about that? What do you think about that? Let's talk about that.
So first, you need to have your tax person when you're going through this process. Having the tax person is very helpful. Like I'm aware of some of the rules, but I tell people my tax knowledge. So if and I'll try not to get too far into the weeds, but through your employer, and let's just use the 401k, you get the option of a pre-tax contribution And if your employer has the option available, there's a Roth option. So
Yes.
it essentially is a Roth, but it is a 401k. So what that says is, if it's the normal 401k, which is usually pre-tax, which people kind of know that lingo, whatever you're contributing during the year, that's deducted. So, for example, if you made $100,000 and over the course of the year into your 401k, you put in 10,000, when it's time to file your taxes, in the eyes of the IRS, you made $90,000. Now, so people will say, well, that's great, Jasper, I saved 10,000. However, the government is just waiting for you to retire, and then you're going to get taxed later. And you can't avoid it, right? So you got to pay your taxes now or later. But at least that temporary benefit of lowering that tax bill $10,000 could have meant a lot for you and your family.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say pre-tax doesn't speak to you. You don't need the deduction, and you're thinking about long term when I'm older and in retirement. That Roth option, if it's available, says to the government, we'll use the same numbers. I made 100,000. I put 10,000 in, but in the eyes of the government, when you're doing a Roth, they consider that after tax, which means you're still paying taxes on everything you earned. So you earned $100,000 as opposed to 90. But if you follow the rules accordingly, under the Roth umbrella, when you retire, you can just take your money. It's tax free, because every year you've essentially paid the taxes on that money. We know it grew, but the government said, you've already paid us all those years, so we cool, we good. Follow these rules, that's all your money. So if we extend it out to, let's say we're now at retirement, so let's say, Matilda, I'll say you're 60 years old right now, right? Because the age is 59 and a half. So let's say you're at 60, and let me walk you through both scenarios again. So in your 401k, let's say you had 100,000 and you did all pre-tax. And let's just say you're like, Jasper, I want all my money today. I'm 60. Give me my money. I'm going to say, Matilda, all those years you were putting money in, the government didn't tax you, so they need a cut. So I know you looked online and it says 100,000, but we're going to withhold 20%, which is kind of standard. So I'm going to give you 80,000, and then we're going to hold at 20 for tax purposes. And then you take your 80,000 and you go enjoy retirement. That's how that works. Roth. So Roth, same thing. Matilda, you're talking like, Jasper, I'm 60. Give me my money. So you look online, it says $100,000 in the account of the 401k. I say, Matilda, you're over 59 and a half. We're going to go ahead and cut you that check for 100,000. That's it. Those are the two scenarios. And so what I want to, how I want to wrap this up is, you're not right or wrong depending on the choice, because as life changes, your tax situation may change. And so you may dabble between pre-tax and Roth, all Roth at one point. Even at a certain point, if you have all pre-tax dollars, you can do what's called a Roth conversion. We're not going there today, but your plan, and here's what I'll say about retirement specifically: it is a work in progress until you die, and you will have to keep maneuvering and changing things to make sure you're doing what's in your best interest. But I hate the people who say pre-tax is better than Roth or vice versa, because that's a blanket statement that doesn't apply to everybody. So there's somebody who's going to view this and they're going to say, well, my friend such and such told me pre-tax is better than Roth, or Roth is better. Wrong. You have to assess your tax situation completely. And once you've had that conversation with a CPA, your accountant, whoever's doing your taxes, unless it's yourself,
you need to talk about it.
You got to talk
to somebody about it. That's why I brought it up. I know that you are not a tax person, but you are in the money. You talk about money. So I just want you to hit it, because some people, when they go to what do you call it, human resources, and they fill their forms, their taxes, one time they don't go there anymore.
I know.
They don't. You need to go in, check, find a way that you can, wherever your 401k is or 403b is, to see how much are you getting. Because one of my jobs, So many jobs I do. I can walk dog. I don't care what you give me. If he gives me money, I'm coming for it. Jasper, I did not know that job. I have to contribute. I think 4% for my company to match it. I didn't know. And I was for a whole year I was contributing only 1%.
Yeah.
So if you contribute one, they give you too much one. If you do two, they do two. A lot of people don't know this. So you have to
Matilda, do you know how many people are missing out? That's free money. Free money if you just did it. And here's the catch with, I'll say, the company match. Everybody doesn't do a match, just so y'all know. Every company doesn't do it. There are limitations on some matches. But the key is this. When the person in your scenario didn't know and they're doing 1% when they could have been doing 4 and getting a 4% match, that's almost like you walking outside today and stepping over a stack of money every 2 weeks or whatever you get paid. You just say, I'll step over. That's what that tells you. You're okay leaving the free money out there that's yes. for the taking. And when people say, well, I'm only doing 1% because I can't afford to do 4. Yes. Now here's where I get them. I'll say, let me see your pay stub. And when you go through the pay stub and I do some basic math and do 4% of their gross, that's the bigger number before taxes and all the deductions. And when you take the 4% versus 1, you're talking maybe $20 more a paycheck. I mean, it's minuscule. And so when you tell me, because I know how you're thinking, you think 3% is that big. 3% is like $2-3 more at your. It's such a small number. And when you talk to people, they're almost afraid.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to take advantage of free money because I feel like it's going to take a lot more money out of my check, and it's like $20 more, if that.
And $20 more, no, somebody's gonna match that $20 more to you. Then it's gonna be $40. I don't know if it's.
That's free advice. So every the 401k thing we just talked about, there is a financial institution who manages that money on behalf of your employer. Very few employers manage their own 401k plan. There are a few. But generally speaking, every company has a financial institution that manages the account. It is their obligation as a fiduciary to educate their participants and make them aware of what the plan can do. And it's free advice. Pick up the daggone phone, go online, schedule the meeting. Their job is to help answer those questions about that. And so many people will not pick up the phone. I know online is great, but you still need a person to validate some of the stuff you're reading because the internet is only going to tell you so much. Call somebody. It's true. It's a free meeting. They have to schedule. They get paid. You know how many people, I've been in one of these roles where I would tell people, if you want some free advice on this one account, I'm your guy. And people would avoid me like the plague. Oh, I'm too busy. Oh, my kid is sick. Hey, you've never taken the time to talk to me. So this is why you're doing 1%. You've been missing out on 3% more every paycheck.
3% more
because you didn't know. Now, if you know and don't do it, that's on you, and that's silly. You're a clown. If you know you have a match and you're not doing it, now I understand that you don't want to be broke. You're not even trying.
This is what poverty comes in, because
absolutely,
when we talk about wealth, listen, I'm not gonna say most of the people, because I don't want people to come after me. Most of the people doesn't have time, and they don't make time to look into things. If you have a job and your job is taking money from your paycheck, you gotta investigate it. My next thing is, how can people contact you? Because listen, I know that you are willing to talk to people, advise them, let them know how the system works. So please, how can they contact you?
Yeah, where I'll drive them to is my website, thebuildwealthmovement.com. And I have some good resources. Like I've
Yeah, your
written,
books, you have books.
so
Yes.
I have the book
Yes.
that talks about,
Yes.
financial planning. It's an easy read. It's a great investment. I wish everybody would make, and just read it and then tell me that you can't figure out financial planning, because I made it that easy. So, that's one of the resources on the website. There are a lot of articles that I've written to give you like financial guidance from my lens, not this. I'm using too many big words that are speaking over your head that you can't explain it to a kid. I can't help an adult. So I like simple. And so I want you to understand that. Just read some of the articles that I've written. I have a few videos. And if you just want to talk to me about something very specific, then I have the contact us section at the bottom of the page. Just fill it out and I'll follow up, and let's just have a conversation. I'm not going to promise you the world, because this is not a one and done type of conversation. Like even somebody listening to this session, you're not going to become wealthy overnight just by listening to the stuff we're talking about. It's a process. It is a journey.
It's a journey, step-by-step journey
that does not conclude until your time is up on this earth. And so I don't care how old you are, how young, how sick, how healthy. I don't care about your situation, because that's all in the past. I only care about where we're going next. I'll acknowledge the past. We'll accept it. I know everybody's got trauma and family issues and poverty, but look, that's great. But I've seen success come from every situation. So you aren't that much different, aside from the way you think about money,
the way you think,
the way you feel about money. And if I can help change one or both of those, whether it's the thoughts or the feelings, I know you're going to have success. And it may not even be with me. It may just be, I give you a good talking to, and then you go do. And if that's, but the buildwealthmovement.com, small part of success is spending your money on, I'll say the luxurious lifestyle. That's fine when you can afford it, but so many of us are so quick to spend money enriching everybody else. And I don't even deter my clients from shopping, Matilda. So if you tell me you want to shop and you like Gucci bags or whatever your bag or shoe, whatever your vice, everybody's got one. So once you tell me what that is, I actually include that with our planning. So if I have a client who says, and I had one, she loves shoes and bags. I said, look, I'll make you a deal. I don't know how much your bags and shoes cost. She loves all the name brands. And so we came up with this number. So she was like, I spent anywhere from $300 to $400. I said, great. I'll meet you in the middle. Let's go with $350. So let's say every month you're spending $350 on stuff. Now, can I get you to do $350 into an investment account or a savings account? And I said, if you want to split up the $350 and do savings, investment, and a retirement, that's fine. But can you make that commitment to me and to yourself that if I spend $350 here, I got to spend $350 on myself in one of my accounts? And honestly, Matilda, it worked. And what I found is, if you don't, like, some people just can't go cold turkey and stop shopping, or they can't stop going out to eat or hanging out with friends. So don't neglect the fun parts of life. You got to live. Until your money's on point to where you can afford those things.
That's it.
That's the key.
That's where I'm coming from.
So stop Think temporarily, short term. I need you to do this for a little bit of time in your life so you can live this extravagant life. But make a little sacrifice here. And if you don't make any sacrifices, you'll never be able to fully achieve those goals and dreams, because you weren't willing to do what it took. You don't snap a finger and make it. You learn, you lose, you win, you learn, you lose, you win. Like, it's this repeatable cycle of, I see it. Is that legit? Or is it just, again, social media? This, I see it today, it's gone tomorrow. Like, I want people to, all these people y'all follow on the internet, whether it's YouTube, the Gram, TikTok, reach out to these people who you deem to be successful and flashy and be like, how much are you worth? Bet money they will not respond. They're not going to tell you how much they're worth, because they don't even probably know. They've never done a balance sheet. I'm just saying, call it out. Matilda, call it out. Because real wealth is quiet. It's not, unless you are an entertainer. I give you a pass if you're flashy, if you're on the screen, because maybe that's your livelihood, but you probably can afford it, and that's fine. But if you ask them like, yo, tell me how much you're worth, they're not gonna holler at you because one, they don't want to disclose that information, and two, they probably actually don't know.
Oh, thank you. I love you. Thank you. You know, I'm learning so much from you. And guys, we are so blessed. My subscribers, we are so blessed to have Jasper Smith with us today. Jasper, thank you so much. You've been a blessing to us. And like you said, if you want more information, go to his website. It's buy the book. Please, guys, buy it. Because
please.
The thing is, yes.
You
please
know,
buy it.
I'll say buy it and actually read it. How about that? Read it. And if you find any value, let me know and share it with somebody else. Maybe you buy it for somebody else because you have it together. Buy it for that family member, the friend, the coworker, your cousin, your brother, uncle, sister, niece, nephew. Buy it for somebody and say, I think you might benefit from reading this book, and just gift it to somebody.
Yes, buy it, because, brother, the reason I said buy it, buy it and read it. If you cannot afford to talk to somebody, financial advisor or things like that, if you buy that book, the same information that is going to give you is in the book.
Right there. Way more affordable. It's a way more affordable option if you do the work yourself. You won't get me, but you'll get some of my brain that's on a page. And it's like you said, it's an affordable way for you to begin your journey. And then when you are ready, or you feel like there's some things that I can't get done by myself, because again, you're going to run into a block at some point where you're going to need to enlist the services of a professional or multiple professionals. But I think there's a lot of legwork you can do on your own, because I don't want to waste my time, because our time is precious. And I know if you read that book, I know you have a foundation built. It might not be perfect, but you have the makings of greatness just because you read a simple book around planning financially. And it challenges, and part of it, it's titled the Build Wealth Challenge, because I want to challenge you to think differently. I want to challenge you to feel differently. And if you don't like it, tell me that too, because I've been in the game for going on 13 years. I think I've learned a thing or two about the language of money. And I did my best to give it to you in an easy, digestible way. A few questions that you got to ask yourself. If you lie in that book, you lying to yourself. So don't lie the fact that we got some work to do, myself included. I've always got work that I need to do to improve my skill set. And so I'm no different from you. I read, I challenge myself, because once I decide to go down that road and challenge myself, I get the results that I want at some point. I get it every time.
Thank you, brother. We are here to disrupt generational poverty.
That's right.
So if you want to join us, please go to his website and then join us, because Black people, this is for everybody, but me, I'm focusing on my people.
For sure.
We don't seek advice. We just do things and we lose money. We don't know what we are doing. We can't save. There's so many ways that you can save here and there. And at the end of the year, you will see what you're worth. It's better to do that than knowing nothing. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matilda. And I appreciate you, just for allowing me to utilize your platform, because again, my goal is maybe one person takes this conversation and runs with it. So I appreciate you for, again, bringing me onto the platform and having I'll say we had an honest conversation. I know there's a lot more we can go into, but I think we did a bang up job, just in terms of giving them a good overview. But it's ultimately up to you as the individual to decide what do you do next. So
what do you do next?
So thank you so much.
Thank you. Mwah.
All right.
I will talk to you again. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you. Thank you. And please subscribe, like this video, because we are working hard for you guys. Bye.